Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. It's Monday, baby. It's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. This is actually video 1 of 3, so keep your eyes peeled, because there's going to be 3 videos today. There was going to be 2. Well, originally 1, then 2, now 3, because I want to bring this to your attention. And I thought I'm going to put this as video 1, because people more than likely watch video 1. So I'll sacrifice that, because this is important. This what I'm talking about here is important. So do me a favour, watch this video to the end of it, share it, do everything. If you want to caress it, treat it like a caressable thing, because this is a travesty. This is. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the lad, Michael Frison, who we talked about a few days ago. He's a young man who's gone missing, right? So let's just bring this up, right? So the mum of the latest missing Brit, Michael Frison, has flown out to Sardinia to launch an urgent hunt for her son. Michael from Somerset went out for a walk feeling unwell in the rural area of Luras on July 13th. That's in Sardinia. And has not been seen or heard from ever since. The Brit, 25, had been visiting his relatives and was due for some volunteer work on a farm in the northern part of the Italian holiday island. Mum Christina Patalas, who was left distraught after hearing the news of her son's disappearance, flew out to Sardinia last week to join the frantic search for her missing Brit. For the missing Brit, which is her son. His mum said he left his phone, laptop, ID behind and at his accommodation before leaving for a walk. She added her son was not used to the hot climate and was possibly dehydrated when he left for a walk alone in the remote location. She added he went to sleep and the following day he was visibly confused, so they gave him water and let him sit in the shade. But he said he would go for a little walk and hasn't been seen ever since. Michael's shorts, t-shirt and trainers were later found on a wall near his volunteer site, ITV reports. The average temperature on the day Michael vanished was 33 degrees C. Emergency services launched a manhunt to find Michael in the isolated region, but some forest guards said the area was too vast to find him. However, Italian cops shockingly axed the search operation for the missing Brit last Friday. A heartbroken Christina, who is based in Bristol, has now pleaded for Michael to make contact with her. She said, "I know you're alive. I'm looking for you. I'm very worried. I understand how close you two are, and he loves you very much. I feel in my heart you are alive." Christina said that during specialist searches, search dogs hadn't picked up any scent of Michael, dead or alive, and is seeing this as a positive sign. A GoFundMe fundraiser has been started to help aid the search for Michael. The fundraiser read, "I'm trying to raise funds that will go towards helping the group of volunteers that is currently being gathered together to head out from the UK to help search for Michael Frison. It will also continue to be used, or will also be used, as a financial buffer for Christina and her youngest son." The FCDO spokesperson said, "We are supporting the family of a British man reported missing in Sardinia and are in contact with the local authorities." This is a developing story. Which, let's just come back up here for a second, because I'm going to show you the GoFundMe. But first of all, let's take a moment, right? Now, we saw, and we have been, and we still are, and I've got a video coming out later on the Jay Slater case. Tragic story, because there's a death in it. And anybody, whoever they are, when someone loses their life, it's tragic. It's like in the Idaho 4 case, right? So we've got the Idaho 4 victims, and then we've got the ripple effect and the other people who are victims from that. The families of both those that lost their lives and those that were accused. But, Brian Kohberger is on his, he's fighting for his life now. And people around this case don't seem to really care. And there's a point to this, what I'm going to make in a moment, right? And it is that, even if you feel that Brian Kohberger is guilty of that crime, you have to consider the fact that we're talking about extinguishing a life. That's playing God. That is playing God. We are all miracles. One in billions and billions to be here. So if you are going to extinguish that life, then you should damn fucking well be sure that you are absolutely correct. Absolutely. There is no fucking doubt in your mind. So, you know, when we think about the Jay Slater case, the fact that Jay Slater lost his life is a tragedy. It's tragic. However it happened, it's tragic. However you feel about Jay Slater. But Jay Slater had a bit of a past, and there are people who felt a certain way about him, and we've spoken on this. And his family set up a GoFundMe, and that GoFundMe garnished and continues to garnish thousands of pounds. We're talking about £72,000 plus, because the family had come forward and said, we want to help with the searchers, you know, fund searchers and the people who are out here to help. That was then tweaked after Jay Slater was found, and it was then going to be used to give him the send-off he deserved. Weird verbiage, but, you know, the public, they know, the family knows, the people around Jay knows that people are invested, and not too unlike what Ayub Kassim is now doing. Because of that public investment, people can be manipulated into paying. But then we have Michael Frison, who it would seem that this guy potentially has mental health issues. Now, whether it was mental health issues that were exacerbated by the climate and the surroundings that he were in, or whether something else happened, that's been unclear. But it has been alluded to the fact that he struggled, he had issues, and people feel a certain way about that. But if we look on here, his GoFundMe, bearing in mind, again, the aforementioned Jay Slater, which Jay Slater was a young boy who ultimately, short version, was involved in attacking another individual. This other individual was attacked, hit in the head with a machete, and they got off with community service and felt elated the fact that they didn't get actually put inside. They then go to Tenerife to attend a rave, and he then ends up on his own, away from his friends, with a convicted drug trafficker, and then shortly afterwards vanishes and then is found deceased. So that's his story, and that has garnished over £70,000 being donated. So Michael Frison, how much do you think he's garnished? £2,765. Hi, my name is Eevee Baker. I'm trying to raise funds that will go towards helping the group of volunteers that is currently being gathered together to head out from the UK to help search for Michael Frison. It will also be used as a financial buffer for Christina and her youngest son. On Saturday the 13th of July, Michael went missing in Sardinia. He was due to start some volunteering but felt unwell. Not used to the hot climate and possibly dehydrated, he was given water and went to sleep. When he woke up, he said he was going for a walk, and now, sadly, he is missing. I can't tell you how genuinely lovely his family is. I'm absolutely heartbroken for them. Please donate whatever you can, and if you are unable, please share with everyone. Thank you. £2,765 versus £70,000 plus. So what has contributed to the difference in these sums? Do people pay into things that they truly care about? Or do people, you know, it's like that viral thing, isn't it? Like we see cases, like when Summer Wells went missing and Michael Vaughan went missing around the same sort of time, the difference, the disparity between how the Summer Wells case exploded versus Michael Monkey Vaughan, and how sort of muted that was. And you think to yourself, what is it that makes some cases explode and become these viral stories that garner all the money and all the attention? And then you've got these other stories that are equally as tragic, because you're still talking about the fundamentals of it is that there is somebody who is likely lost their life and a family suffering and struggling to try and find out what has happened. But I don't get it. I don't understand why you've got... It seems to be that the more drama, the more shit, the more bollocks that there is around it, the more skeletons that fall out of the closet that people can clamber through, that seems to control how much people will care. And how much people care then translates into money. And that money is just representative of keep it coming, because we want to be satisfied. We want to keep looking at and being able to traipse through all these bones that just keep coming out of the closet. And we love it. So we're just going to fuck this. Michael Frison, missing. He's been missing. The guy is likely hurt. He's likely lost his life, and his mum and his brother are trying to find him. Law enforcement have stopped searching, saying, fuck this, it's too much, too vast, and we just can't be bothered. The link to the GoFundMe will be in the description of this video. If you have the ability to help towards this, please do what you can. Even if it is just sharing it to potentially other people who may want to. That would be absolutely fantastic. I don't think this is going to have a happy ending. But, look, there's always hope until there is no hope. I'll catch you all in video 2 later.